An interview that I watched of yours online, which is the interesting thing about everything being online, but it was a 1977 interview that you did with the CBC's Hannah Gardner.
Yes, and it was so awful they never played it. But
actually, it was one of the most fascinating, honest 20-minute exchanges I've ever seen between
honest
a host
on the part
and
of whom?
Well, both of you, actually.
She was a complete pill.
She was a
She
pill.
was horrible.
But it was well, she started the interview by saying, "Your books make me sad," and you ended up saying to her, "Well, if you want a happy,
read something else."
You said read Harlequin romances.
Yeah, they make you very happy. Yes, she was annoying, and they didn't play it. But now, being very naughty, they've put it up on the archive, which I'm sure is giving her.
So it never aired after.
No, it never did.
Oh, that's very
They couldn't figure out why she had been so aggressive and negative, and I couldn't figure it out either. You know, there was obviously something.
And she
about
was
me
aggressive.
That really annoyed her, but I don't know what that was.
Well, that gets me back to Mary McCarthy's review of The Handmaid's Tale, which I considered aggressively critical.
Well, you know, these things happen, but the part that you probably don't know is that she had recently had a stroke. You might, when you're reading that piece, you might see that it seems strangely disorganized.
It really did.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
And that was the reason.
It didn't seem.
They didn't know that when they assigned the piece, but then they found out and they phoned me up and they said, "We're so sorry that this happened, but we didn't know." And of course, once you assign something, you can't unassign it.
Well, the interesting thing is when I read it, I didn't think it was worthy of being printed in the New York Times.
Yeah, but she's a very good writer. I always liked her books. She was very, very smart. So something happened. Something happened, and that's what it was, which is a bit tragic. And then she didn't live very long after that. And of course, I couldn't say, because everybody was asking me, "Well, what do you think of that review?" And I couldn't say, "Well, she had a stroke," because that would have been really disrespectful to an older writer that I admired a lot. So I just said I was always taught not to be disrespectful to people older than myself.
That's typical of the silent generation, by the way.
I think it was typical of everybody from about 1800 until maybe 1975. That's how kids were brought up.